wherever you are in internet world, welcome to another edition of Golden Independence. Enjoying my time, freedom, and encouraging everyone out there to get your freedom. If you're working, work to be free. Don't work for somebody else's dream. That is, if you're complaining about it, if you're complaining about your space, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And if and another reminder, we don't get what we should have, we get what we must have. So mind your manners or mind your words when when you start saying things like, man, I should have did this or I should have got that. Yes, beloved. Bless up. Yes, I should have got this, I should have got that. Or I should have got this Bitcoin while it was at 60. I should have, right? But guess what? Like I just said, we don't get what we should have. We get what we must have. Now look at the conversation that you could have with yourself, right? Because this is what I said to myself. Hey, I have to have that BitHarvest account. I have to get as many BitBoosters as possible. I have to get satoshis in my sleep so that one day I can get a full Bitcoin, if not multiple Bitcoins, passively. Over the next 4 years even. I have to do this. I must do this. You see, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait until Bitcoin reaches 1 million and then talk about the things that I should have done. And if you have that mentality, or even talking, if you're talking a little similar, then that's why you're in the losing section of life. Because that's how losers communicate. That's the losing section of life. They talk about what they should have done. But when you talk about what you have to do, what you must do, you end up winning in life. Because for the people in the early days, if once they said to themselves, hey, I have to get this Bitcoin at $100. I must get this Bitcoin at $1,000. I must get this Bitcoin at $10,000. These are the individuals who are now benefiting their own actions of what they felt they had to do. And when it comes to this Bitcoin journey, right, as I'm sharing with you guys now, when you get that feeling that you have to get Bitcoin and the penny drops, see, I can't force nobody to do it. I can only share the opportunity and explain why, from my point of view, and try to break it down as simple as possible as to why it's important to get Bitcoin, number one. I mean, get it however you could get it. I'm just sharing a way how you could position yourself before the herd. Because because the institutions are coming in, ladies and gentlemen, and when these institutions start rolling in, and they're buying thousands of whole Bitcoin, right? Thousands of whole Bitcoin from exchanges. This is coming, right? They're going to be going to the public exchanges to take out the Bitcoin because they need to have Bitcoin in order to facilitate the ETFs, right? And remember, it's about, these people are not buying Bitcoin themselves, They're getting exposure to Bitcoin through holding the shares, right? So they're holding shares. So it's no different than what's happening with BitHarvest and the BitBooster. You can acquire an income producing asset on the shared level, right? On the shared level. You got this view right here. This is nice. Yeah. So on the shared level, you can get the BitHarvest. You can acquire the BitHarvest account, right? Or you can get the full BitBooster and get as many BitBoosters as possible to mine Bitcoin. But what the corporate people are doing is they're acquiring as many Bitcoin as possible and offering ETFs. And the ETFs is kind of like the shared price. So the companies who hold that stock, for example, MicroStrategy. See, the people in MicroStrategy, right? The only one who benefits from holding the Bitcoin is the company, MicroStrategy itself. Whereby you, as the stockholder, you are holding on to the shares, and the shares is what goes up in value, right? They're not offering an ETF. MicroStrategy is not offering an ETF like BlackRock, right? Even that's a different format because the Bitcoin ETF, right? That's paper Bitcoin. It's not the actual physical Bitcoin. It's paper Bitcoin, and it's the shared value of that said Bitcoin. So you could put $1,000 into that ETF, and you are sharing. That money goes toward a fraction of whatever Bitcoin that they do have. It's the shared value. But guess what? You don't have possession. You don't have ownership of that Bitcoin. I'm gonna come up here because it's a little windy. You don't have custody. You don't have self-custody. So we're not only here to promote the benefits of BitHarvest in terms of mining satoshis, right? But also the fact that the Bitcoin or the satoshis that you're mining belong to you. It's self-custody. It's decentralized. BlackRock and these entities, it's being held, by that company, which makes it, kind of centralized in a way. But if you buy this MicroStrategy stock, yes, the stock will go up. You'll benefit. It's like what, $200 now, right? I could see MicroStrategy going to $2,000 a share, easy, right? Easy, just because of the valuation of the company, right? The market cap of the company is going to go up. So the people who understand regular finance, they're going to see that and say, hey, they're going to take their notion and pour their money into the company that's growing, right? So companies like MicroStrategy are still going to be around, but what about the other companies that adopt that strategy to increase the market capitalization or their balance sheet just by acquiring Bitcoin and holding it? How are you going to get your Bitcoin? Because you can't compete with a MicroStrategy or BlackRock who can take advantage of certain moves in the marketplace. Because right now, like I had mentioned earlier, they are on track. Meaning MicroStrategy is on track for the next 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say it again, for the next 3 years, they're going to be buying Bitcoin daily, right? Just between the two of them, they're buying all the Bitcoin, as much Bitcoin as possible, right? What are you going to do? So again, it's not about what you should have, it's about what you must have. And if you have not come to the point where you have to have Bitcoin, If you haven't come to the realization that you must have Bitcoin, then you're not going to understand why you need BitHarvest. And it's just that simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that simple. Like I said, I'm going to be doing these things daily because the energy is so intense. The energy is so immense. The information is just coming out. Like you're hearing about school institutions, universities buying Bitcoin now. Why? Because education is big business, right? That's just what it is. Education is big business, and even they have a balance sheet, right? They're looking to be profitable. So institutions are looking to buy Bitcoin as well, to put on their balance sheet, right? It's all about profit. So we see these institutions putting themselves on a Bitcoin standard. And what I'm saying is that Bitcoin is originally intended for everybody, 8 billion people in the world. And the notion is for the people of the world to be on a Bitcoin standard. And the question is, how are you putting yourself on a Bitcoin standard? That's what I'm doing. I'm putting myself on a Bitcoin standard and applying the Bitcoin principles to everyday life. That's the whole next masterclass. But that's how you could operate with even more freedom when you apply the principles of Bitcoin to your actual real life. Yeah? I'll be doing a masterclass on that. Right? Yeah, private session. Get ready. If you are ready. However, victory only goes to those who stay ready. And that's how we are with the BitHarvest and the Bitcoin revolution. It is taking place. It's happening real live. Today is the day. You know, the election is going on. Today is the voting. It's the voting days, right? It's the voting time. Today is the day, ladies and gentlemen. Who you got? Trump or Kamala? Huh? Who do you have winning this thing? Because I'm hearing if Trump wins, it's going to be very, extremely bullish for Bitcoin in the coming years. Because he's already stated at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville that one of the first things that he's going to do is fire Gary Gensler. And the crowd went crazy, right? The first thing Trump said at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville was that he was going to fire Gary Gensler. Crowd went crazy, right? So I believe he will do that because, and he has more knowledge about Bitcoin now, right? And he's getting educated by the right people in the space about Bitcoin. And every time he talks about Bitcoin, he grows more confident in what Bitcoin stands for. That's why he's saying that he wants Bitcoin to be, he wants the United States to have the mining of Bitcoin operations in the US, and wants the mining operations to take place in the US so that it could be a reserve asset, just like oil, right? I believe he stated one time, meaning Trump, that Bitcoin is the new oil. It's been reported that Donald Trump has stated that Bitcoin is the new oil. And Donald Trump knows about oil. He knows about commodities, ladies and gentlemen, right? He knows about assets. He's a real estate man. Yeah? So he knows what he's talking about regarding assets and how to use assets as leverage to use good debt. He's the master at that. That's why he wants to mine Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, right? And use the Bitcoin as leverage to borrow money to make America great again. because the value of the asset is gonna eventually uh, be more. It's gonna appreciate more than what you borrowed, right? Because if that's 34 trillion, you know, they buy the Bitcoin, and then the value of the Bitcoin starts to go over the 34 trillion of what's owed. So now they have 30 trillion worth of cash to fix up the country, right? They could actually borrow 30 trillion to fix up the country. Stop with the war. They don't have to do no war. They could focus on making America great again in terms of its roads, right? Its fauna and flora, and start to really give back. Because we only have one life. We got one life to live. And in the blink of an eye, it could be gone. We could leave this earth at any moment, right? So if you're living life right now and you're complaining, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And this is why I'm choosing BitHarvest, because I don't like the state of the world economy. I don't like the fiat money system. I'm getting on the Bitcoin standard system, and I'm getting Bitcoin on a regular basis. And you can too. Just check out the link below. You know, copy the link, put it in a new thing. And if you can't click on it, just copy the link, put it in a new browser, and check it out. Yeah, that's it. Easy peasy. Yeah. So that's all for now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day, the rest of my time, freedom, and yeah. Stay safe. Bless up.